This program will start momentarily, but first, let's thank our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Ed Page, and I'm President and CEO of Relation Insurance Services.
Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Latz, and I represent the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy.
Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Kramer, Market CEO for BOK Financial and proud alum of an NAIA institution, Benedictine College. Go Ravens.
Hi, my name is Jeff Simon. I'm the Office Managing Partner with Hush Blackwell Law Firm here in Kansas City.
Hello, I'm Dale Close, Regional President for PNC Bank here in Kansas City.
I'm David Kissick, Vice President of Kissick Construction here in Kansas City, Missouri. We are a longtime sponsor of both the NAIA and their Champions of Character program.
Athletics is really important to us at Relation, and many of us, myself included, have been athletes our whole entire lives. That's one of the reasons we've been long-term sponsors of the NAIA and the Champions of Character event. Our intercollegiate sports division is headquartered in Overland Park, and we really wish that we could be there with you physically today as opposed to virtually, as I know you all do. But the world has changed in really dramatic ways, and these are really challenging times. But I cannot think of an organization that embodies more of what the world needs than the NAIA. If you think of things such as integrity, morality, hard work, discipline, working together, that's what the NAIA embodies, and that's more what the world needs. So we're proud to be here, and we're proud to be your sponsors.
BOK Financial is proud once again to sponsor the NAIA Foundation and the Champions of Character program. Today we're especially honored to sponsor the Company of Character Award. It highlights a company who embodies the 5 core values of the NAIA. Congratulations to Angela and the entire team at Veracity Consulting for being named this year's 2020 Company of Character.
We're proud, in conjunction with our colleagues at the NAIA, to congratulate all the local high school athletes on their accomplishments this spring and summer during these unprecedented times. I want to specifically take the opportunity to congratulate Ike Riggs, a local high school athlete who has excelled on the academic and the athletic field of play. We're excited to announce that Ike will be able to continue his college career at Abilene University in the fall.
Everyone here at Kissick Construction would like to congratulate Shawnee Mission East tennis coach Andy Gibbs for becoming the 2020 Coach of Character. Keep up the good work, Coach, and go Lancers.
We are longtime sponsors and supporters of the NAIA and its Champions of Character Awards. It is my privilege and my honor to congratulate the Pleasant Hill Chicks softball team and their coach, Christy Reeves, on receiving this year's Team of Character Award.
And at PNC Bank, we are proud sponsors of the NAIA and the Champions of Character program. I would like to congratulate Dimitri and Gracia for being named the Collegiate Student Athlete of Character winner this year. Dimitri is a tennis player and a sophomore at Judson University in Illinois.
We want to say congratulations. As we celebrate this great event and this great day, we want to say congratulations and thank you to the athletes, coaches, and award recipients today.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Pleasant Hill Chicks. You're doing things right, and you make us all proud.
Congratulations, Dimitri.
Congratulations, Ike, and congratulations, NAIA.
Let's get this party started. Good morning. I'm Len Jennings, Sports Director at KMBC Channel 9. Welcome to the 7th Annual Champions of Character Foundation Award Celebration, our first as a virtual event. We are excited that you are joining us to celebrate character on and off the field and to help this amazing Kansas City organization continue to change the culture of sport. I'd like to take a moment to recognize our sponsors for their support during this virtual event. Our lead sponsors: Kissick Construction, Relation Insurance, Mutual of Omaha. Our award sponsors: PNC Bank, Hush Blackwell, Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy, Kissick Construction, BOK Financial, Executive Hills. Our model sponsors: J.E. Dunn, Morgan Family Foundation, Veracity Consulting, Park University, MMGY Global. Thank you again to all our sponsors and your continued support of the Champions of Character program. Now, I'd like to introduce to you Jim Carr, President and CEO of the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics.
Thanks, Lynn, and thank you for joining us for our first ever virtual Champions of Character Foundation Awards Luncheon. While this is our 7th annual luncheon, we are joining you virtually for the first time due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Over the last 6 years, we have honored more than 450 individuals, companies, teams, and have been inspired by their stories of character in our community and throughout athletics. We have also been humbled by your generous support of this unique event, and we've been busy putting those dollars to work. Your donations have helped us support our 250 members as they implement character-driven intercollegiate athletics and instill our core values in the 77,000 student athletes who compete in the NAIA. We made a commitment to character back in the year 2000, to change the culture of sport, to focus on what's good about high-level competition while balancing integrity, respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, and servant leadership. In the last 19 years, we've touched over 1 million NAIA student athletes with straightforward principles that equip them for both athletics and life. Since the start, NAIA institutions have taken the character message into their local communities, sharing it with youth sports participants, high schools, parents, and coaches. We're honored to have several of our area institutions supporting us today: Benedictine College, Mid-America Nazarene University, Ottawa University, Park University, and Culver Stockton College. We are also honored to work with our fantastic board. These members give us time and energy to the Champions of Character Foundation. They are Gary Henson, President of Tortoise Investments, Peter Levy, President and CEO of Weathermetrics, Mark Hassenflug, Donna Pacheco with Children's Mercy Hospital, and Jeff Simon, a partner at Hush Blackwell. And last but not least, I'm honored to introduce Bill Snyder as our Keynote Character Honoree. We have a lot to celebrate today, and we're so glad you are watching to help us recognize what sports really have to offer to our young people and our community. I'll now turn it over to Lynn Jennings to honor our high school student athletes of character. Take it away, Lynn.
As Jim said, we have a lot to celebrate in this town, and we're glad you're here to help us recognize what sports really offer to our young people and our community. Each year, the NAIA's Champions of Character Foundation raises money to make this happen. Today's virtual event supports the creation of a better culture of sports in Kansas City and throughout the country. Today, we recognize those in our community who exemplify champions of character values. Let's start with our future, those young people who will make a difference in the world guided by character. Let's now honor the 31 outstanding student athletes from the Kansas City area. Take a look at this year's honorees, sponsored by Executive Hills. Michaela Oran, Belton High School. Addison Brand, Hyman Brand Hebrew Academy. Mackenzie Brockoff, North Platte High School. Leilani Jackson, Hogan Preparatory Academy. David Brown, Blue Valley West High School. Sophia Sissel, St. Pius X. Allison Comer, St. James Academy. Elise David, the Barstow School. Evelyn Diedrich, Blue Valley High School. Jake English, Olathe South High School. Tyler Green, Mill Valley High School. Gabe Harmon, Platte County R3. Reggie Hecker, Blue Springs South. Ashlyn Henry, Shawnee Mission West High School. Brooke Elam, Olathe Northwest High School. Isaiah Jackson, William Chrisman High School. Molly Kemmer, Olathe East High School. Madison Kohler, Shawnee Mission North High School. Annie McCord, Lee Summit North High School. Samantha Moberg, Lansing High School. Zeke Oprecht, Summit Christian Academy. Aaron Porter, Truman High School. Ike Briggs, Midway R1. Connor Schmidt, Eudora High School. Jayona Shields, Turner High School. Daniel Stillwell, Schlegel High School. Tyler Terrence, Lee Summit High School. Brody White, Jayhawk Lynn. Hunter Williard, Spring Hill High School. Tyler Whistle, Shawnee Mission South. The NAIA congratulates you, your parents, coaches, and administrators on your accomplishments. Isn't this an impressive group of student athletes? Show your support by extending congratulations in the chat box. We are excited to announce this year's honorees, starting with the BOK Financial Company of Character Award. In business, organizations that incorporate character values in all aspects of their work are making that vision a reality. Let's learn more about how this year's BOK Financial Company of Character Veracity Consulting exemplifies the Champions of Character core values in its business and corporate culture.
I'm Angela Hurt, and I'm the founder and CEO of Veracity Consulting. We kind of live and die by our values of our organization. And, our first value of the organization being integrity, which is essentially part of our name, right? So if you think about integrity and veracity, those go hand in hand. Our employees who are out in front of our customers every day, if they don't operate with those values in mind, we're kind of missing the boat. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It matters how you treat people. And I think that that's what's important, because I think that leaves the lasting mark. We do a tremendous amount of work here in the Kansas City area. I'm the president of the board of Women's Employment Network. I'm part of the board of the Kansas City Sports Commission. I'm on the board of Executive Center Johnson County, and I've been part of the American Indian Business Council as well. But I've co-chaired Go Red for Women, where we raised $1.1 million. I think we were the first to break that threshold of $1 million over Luncheon. I've co-chaired Women's Employment Network, Win for KC. We're involved in a lot. And the great news is that our employees who have had an opportunity to volunteer or partake in things that Veracity has done are now going out and expanding that to other organizations that they and their families are passionate about. When we think about character, I say look at our values, because there are characteristics of character, so to say. And I also say if you can follow our values, you're simply being a good human being. For me and our organization, I think that character means everything, because it comes out of, can I trust what you're saying? Are you going to follow through and deliver and do what you say you're going to do? It's those kind of things that often define people. When you're giving to the community and you're taking care of whether it's a social, economical, disadvantaged area, and the nonprofit that serves those functions within our community, the more that our community grows, the more that an organization will grow as well. And I think it's just super important to have a strong community where people are safe, they can have fun, but other people have an opportunity to prosper. So I started really thinking about character and how one gets a certain character. And I think it's something that's modeled. I think about it with my son. he and I have never sat down and talked about character, but my gosh, I hope he's paying attention, right? And I think that that's important also when we go and we do things in the community. If we're able to model something for a child, if we're able to go to the Boys and Girls Club and mentor somebody, that's where I think that it happens. But to me, it's not a teaching moment, it's a modeling moment. And I love that.
Congratulations, Veracity Consulting, and thank you to BOK Financial. Competition can bring out the best and the worst in all of us. That's why extraordinary servant leadership, especially when demonstrated by an entire team, has inspired the Hush Blackwell Team of Character Award. I'd like to introduce you to the Pleasant Hill Chicks softball team.
This is our 2019 Chicks softball team, and so we're out of Pleasant Hill, Missouri. We're Class 3. We're made up of 25 freshmen through seniors, so we have a wide variety of all different classes. So this is our varsity and university team. To start off our year, we always do some kind of team building activity. So this year, I kind of thought outside the box, and I surprised them. They didn't really know. Excuse me, they didn't know what was going to happen, but their parents all knew. So I always inform their parents of what we're going to do first. I gave them each, divided them each in 5 groups. I gave them $20 each to spend, and I gave them an hour to 2 hour goal of they needed to perform as many random acts of kindness throughout the town as they possibly could. So they did anything from going to buy flowers, they went and paid for people's lunches, they left money at car washes, they just went to people's houses and left them kind notes. I think that we ended up with over 350 random acts of kindness in our town. We are always all about person first. So when I talk to them, it's always we're person, student, and then athlete third. So we're all about building each other up. I'm more concerned about them as a person because I know softball is just something that we do right now, but they're going to be people and I want them to be the best people that they could possibly be or the best person they could possibly be for the rest of their life. We always talk about the off hours and what's your impact for later. So making sure that, whose bucket did you fill today or what did you do to win the day or what did you do that's going to better yourself for the future. So it's just developing all these skills each day to help us be better people. You're thinking of other people and not just yourself.
Christy has always pushed us to be our best, and I know that when she was in high school, she had a coach that inspired her and always showed her the best of things, and so she wanted to be that person for us and know that this goes so much further than softball, but who we are as a person. And so just whether it's talking about life lessons or whatever, she's always helped us improve our character in that standpoint. 6 on 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah! 675!
Congratulations to the entire team and thank you to Hush Blackwell. The Kissick Construction Coach of Character honors a Kansas City area youth, club, or high school coach who best models and teaches the champions of character core values in their work with young people. Let's hear why Andy Gibbs is our 2020 Kissick Construction Coach of Character.
I'm Andy Gibbs. I'm the head boys and girls tennis coach at Shawnee Mission East. I also teach English, AP Literature, Senior English, and then I teach an IB Theory of Knowledge class. Since 2001, I think, was the last time that either Shawnee Mission East or Blue Valley North, someone other than our two schools, won the state championship. And the way that Kansas determines the team state championship is that the individuals, based on their placing, earn points that then go toward the team total. We got to the end of Saturday, and both teams were tied. Being ahead in the calculations, they announce our team as the state champions. And as I, drove home from Topeka and actually just started thinking more about what that percentage really was, I sent an email to my athletic director. I said that I had already written an email to the State Athletic Association and the tennis director asking that Blue Valley North be declared co-champions. And finally, the state kind of made the decision that, look, this is kind of silly to keep passing this back and forth. And really decided to declare co-champions and to rewrite the tiebreaker so that things could actually be determined based on what happens on the court in a way that's measurable in tennis and doesn't involve putting lots of people in positions where mistakes can be made.
I wanted to nominate him because character is what we do when no one is looking. And Andy, on the day of the state tournament, when no one was looking, felt so terrible that all of these girls had battled so hard for 2 days and that they came out in a tie and that it had to come down to a tie-breaking procedure, that when he was announced as the state champion, he felt so bad for Blue Valley North that he called the team over and said, "You guys deserve this just as much as we do. Let's take a team picture together with the trophy," which is what they did.
I attended Olivet Nazarene University in Bourbonnais. One of the things with our program when I was a player there was just, you had kids from kind of all over that you get to know, that you spend a lot of time together. And I know that that's the norm. You get to sit down and share a meal and share conversation and share a season, with folks from all around the world.
With Andy being a teacher, he is surrounded by young people. So he has the opportunity to mentor and to be a role model for those kids. Sports are a platform to allow kids to learn how to get along with other people. It helps us in life every single day because you're going to have people that you work with. You're going to have people in your world that you go to school with. You're going to have people on your team that you may or may not really get along with or have something in common with. But because they're part of your team, you have to find a way to make it work, and you have to find a way to get along. And in today's society, with everything that's going on, it is so important that we embrace each other and we learn that even though we may be different, we are still Lancers and we're still part of the tennis program. And so sports gives us that platform to learn so much more than just about the game, but about life in itself.
Thank you, Coach, for all you do to inspire young people, and thank you to Kissick Construction. Selected from among those outstanding high school students we honored earlier, the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy High School Student Athlete of Character is awarded to an individual who best exemplifies the core values in competition and everyday life. Let's meet Isaac Riggs from Midway R1.
I've known Ike for 3 years, and this kid stands out from day one. He is busy. He is in every activity you can think of, but I also know that he has a neighbor who's in a wheelchair that I know, and I know Ike will be modest about this, but the guy still has horses and things like that, and I contribute that to Ike. Ike goes out and hays them and does those odd job things that he just can't do on his own. He's also kind. I've never seen him be mean to anyone. You know, whenever we have adults that come in the building, especially since he is my TA, I didn't have a problem with him. Hey, show this guy around or show this person around, because his manners and stuff are outstanding. He's just a great kid. I have all girls, but if I had a boy, I'd want him to be just like Ike. I mean, he's amazing.
I think character is just who you are, what makes you you. Someone with a good character, I think it's just being bold, being respectful, holding themselves to a high standard.
I know this is cliche, but I really think it's when you see somebody doing the right thing when nobody's watching. And I think that was my biggest thing about Ike. He will go in the gym, like I said, throw the ball around with some of our special education students. I've seen him talk to the younger kids, you know, pick them up, say nice things about him. That's, to me, a good character. When you just do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And I see Ike do that time and time again.
The team sports, you learn how to work together. You learn how to get past someone that you might not work the best with, but you get past it. You learn to work together. It's definitely a life lesson set in a high school base. It's something you can take with you all through life.
It puts a kid in so many different situations. Like you said, you have to work with kids that you may not normally work with, or you got the different personalities you have to work with, and you're a team. You have to become one to be successful. You lose as a team and you win as a team. Play after play, Ike is cheering his teammates on. I mean, I think that's part of it, that encouraging, we're in this together. I saw him do that week after week, and then they started winning there. So I think that has a lot to do with it. You learn to be a team, and that goes with anything. I don't care if you're behind a cubicle when you're an adult, you still have to work with people and you have to figure it out. And sports is the number one way to get there, I feel like. I've been doing this for 17 years, and he's one of the finest young men I've come to know. So I appreciate you guys and doing this honor for him.
Congratulations to Isaac, and thank you, Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy. The PNC Bank Collegiate Student Athlete of Character Award recognizes an outstanding NAIA individual for actions in NAIA competition that are clear demonstrations of extraordinary sportsmanship. Please meet our Collegiate Student Athlete of Character, Dimitri and Gracia from Judson University.
My name's Chris Moment. I'm the head men's and women's tennis coach here at Judson University and the assistant athletic director. Tennis has just been always a gentleman's sport, and an integrity in tennis is paramount, because sometimes you're only as good as your last call, and your integrity level is judged based on your last call.
I think the tennis helps me on my mental a lot, on like keeping my emotion inside of me. When I play, I know like I can test me 100%, and if I win, it's because of me. If I lose, it's because of me.
So during our ITA regionals, and this last year was the first year that we've actually entered them, is Dimitri and his partner, who is also another French student, were in a very highly contested match between opponents of another conference school and us. The tensions were high during this match, mainly because we are both competing schools, and a ball went literally flying by Dimitri, and he was towards the baseline of the back of the court, and the opponents kind of turned around because they just all assumed the ball went out. Many players, unfortunately, in the world of tennis and collegiate tennis, would most likely call the ball out because it was very close, and there was no line judge at the time on the court, and that is where when he raised his hand and said, "Hey, the ball was in," it kind of shocked his opponents.
That's my responsibility. That's my problem. If I lost the points, it's because of me. It's not because of the ball. Next time, if I do the same mistake, I would say that's my fault, and that's it.
I think character would be more defined as in how you make decisions and how people are going to view you. And I think that's where your word, when a man's word is their bond, I think character is displayed with that. Does a person do what they say they're going to do?
Congratulations, Dimitri, and thank you, PNC Bank. The Champions of Character Foundation is dedicated to providing character training and resources to help those who work in athletics make a difference, to make these stories commonplace in sports. By watching us today, you've supported a great cause. Let's take a look at what the Champions of Character program is all about.
I'm really excited today to talk to elementary school kids about the 5 core values of the NAIA. My favorite one is respect. Respect is treating others as you would like to be treated. It was a great opportunity to teach these kids about respect.
When we walked into the school of those kids, they impacted me and our team. And we had some questions for them about what respect, integrity, and responsibility mean, and they were happy to oblige. And you can see the excitement on their face and their energy through the teachers, everybody within that gym.
I'll now turn it over to Jim to introduce our Keynote Character Honoree.
Thanks, Lynn, and congratulations to each of our award winners. It is great to see so many positive stories on character. I do hope you'll consider supporting the NAIA Champions of Character program to continue our work instilling character in sports. Again, you can text NAIA to 56651 to donate. Now it's my honor to introduce today's Keynote Character Honoree, Bill Snyder. Coach Snyder is responsible for the greatest turnaround in college football history, but today you will hear about his most important accomplishments in his illustrious career. That is building men of character at Kansas State.
I think there are championship programs that aren't necessarily given a trophy. I think they're a championship program because of the characters and the values that they possess within their programs. And it's not just football, it's any sport. But I think, to quote unquote turn around a program or develop one that's had lack of success, at least in terms of the scoreboard on and off the field, it's kind of a day by day, hour by hour process. It was important to me to have quality young men in our football program and to have quality coaches and people that did genuinely care about others and certainly themselves as well. Those things are all important, and that's part of a value system. Most people would take that coming from a football coach. Most people would take that as, okay, you go out on the football field and you practice blocking and tackling, et cetera, but the principles of our program, for instance, was to find that way every single day of your life to become better with your faith, with your family, to be the best person, to be the best student, and then consequently to be the best football athlete. But other things that take higher priority than the stuff out here. I think character is knowing what is the right thing to do, and specifically is doing the right thing when you and I aren't paying attention to them, when no one's looking, so to speak, as the old adage goes. The capacity to be a responsible, caring person that indeed impacts the lives of others in a very positive way is a pretty special place to be in our day and age, and very necessary and needed in this day and age. the development of young people in our program is about life. It's about their faith. It's about their family. It's about being the best person they can be, being the best student, etc. To help create a format and a foundation for creating a successful life.
Please welcome Bill Snyder and Stan Weber, color analysts for K-State Radio Network, for our Q&A session.
I am Stan Weber, and I am honored to be here today and be able to have a chance to talk to the legendary football coach, Bill Snyder, who is joining us from his home in Manhattan. And Coach, I was hoping to see you in person, but I'm still amazed at this technology that we're able to do this. It's pretty cool. So thanks for spending the time.
Well, you're quite welcome. Zoom meant a lot of different things in my lifetime, but never this. So it is quite amazing.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that Zoom is right here in Kansas City, so in the Kansas City metropolitan area. So it's a company now we all know about. Coach, you're the Keynote Character Honoree and the NAIA. Congratulations for picking Coach Snyder. The guy lives his life in the proper way as a mentor to so many people, teaching them, and he also has had unbelievable success. You know about the 2015 Hall of Fame induction into the College Football Hall of Fame, wins all over the place. But Coach, I know that you've talked about in the video we saw that was really nice to see, and all the time you speak about character, and this is the Champions of Character event. And so let's focus on the word character for a moment. Your thoughts on character, what it means to winning. A lot of people look at the scoreboard, but it seems like having character is the most important thing to being a winner.
Well, I certainly have always believed that, and that's the way we've tried to approach young people in our program, and tried to bring young people in the program who exemplify the quality of character that you would like to see in young people. And you know, the value of it is time and time again the foundation for a highly successful future, not just football. I do think this. I think young people with a tremendous value system, great intrinsic value, so to speak, do possess what is necessary to become the best athlete that they can possibly become. I think that's part of it for them, and I think it certainly adds to their capabilities. And it's therefore, I think it's a necessity in quality programs throughout the country.
Well, the NAIA Champions of Character program is really built on a premise that coaches have a big influence on helping their athletes find that intrinsic value and building that character. What are the things that you found are the key to building that character and teaching your kids over time while you're teaching them football as well?
Well, you know, I'm not sure if I truly understand the question, but I do know that in working with young people, so many of them come to you and come into your programs because they've been raised so well by wonderful families. And as we embarked upon, quote unquote, the recruiting process, we've always attempted, or had always attempted, to identify young people who had the quality of character that we were interested in. You know, we have those 16 Wildcat goals for success, which are intrinsic values. And it's not rocket science. I've said so many times. It's the same values that parents had tried to teach young people growing up. But I think once they get invested in athletics, they maybe lend a little more diligent ear, so to speak, and are more readily involved in that will prepare them to be the best athlete that they can be. And as I said, it's my belief that what prepares them well to be successful in life is parallel to what will help them become the best athlete in their career.
You mentioned your 16 goals for success, and they are very valuable, and goal setting seems to be very valuable. When you were with a young man for 4 or 5 years after you recruited him and you're presenting those 16 values, how does it work? Is it consistency? How do you get those values to not just be something on paper, but be a part of their life and change them for the better?
Well, that is really significant. It's a wonderful question and so important in this day and age. Going through some of the difficult times we're going through right now, as it relates to some of the racial riots that are going on. Being able to not just plaster words on a wall. You can go into any locker room in the country and an athletic program and you see a bunch of words up there. And as you indicated, they very likely can become just words. I think what was important for us, and the way we did it anyway, was to have for each one of those goals, each one of those values, we had a program. And the program was not a one-day venture, but it was continual throughout the course of a year. So every single, whether it was perseverance or unity or hard work, whatever the case may be, whatever the value was, we had a program set aside that we addressed that with every day. I'll give you an example. We're going through this difficult time right now nationwide, and unity seems to be, kind of a word of the day. Unity was one of the 16 goals, 16 values for us. And everybody can relate to that in terms of athletics. But really, to me, it was unification of the things that are going on now, unification with racial differences, within unifying your family, unifying your business when you get into your career field, unifying a community. Unity was broad-based, so to speak. You think that in athletics, it just is there, because everybody has to work together in order to be successful, but that doesn't mean that everybody does. Anyway, what I was getting at is we had a program virtually every day. We would pair off every young person in our program, whether it was during the season or out of the season. We'd pair off our youngsters, and they would have a given period of time, brief period of time, might be 2 minutes, etc. And they would be given a topic, and each one of them would take half of that time, a minute in this case, and speak to that particular topic. And the topics were quite personal in many cases, not all, but in many cases. And they were topics that you might not feel comfortable discussing with anyone other than your own family or someone that you knew extremely well. Now, you're put in a situation where you're asked to discuss, that somewhat personal, private issue or concern with somebody that's a teammate, and they became more and more comfortable with it. And we would change partners. So if we had 130 players in the program, you visited with 129 youngsters on a regular basis throughout the year and discussed whatever the topic might be, and therefore got to know each other better, got to feel more comfortable around each other, got to learn to trust, which was so important, that individual that you were speaking with, and consequently it helped bring them all together. So that's what I mean by having, as your question, having a method in which to, or a program in place to impact whatever those values are. which becomes important in what's going on today. I mean, we can all talk about what's going wrong, what's been wrong, how long it's been wrong, etc. But the key element is, what are we going to do about it? How are we going to do it? What's step 1, step 2, step 3? What's the timeline? Those types of things, I think, are what really becomes important today.
Well, those words you just said, Coach, are going to have a great impact on anybody hearing this, because especially at this time, it's almost like a how-to book of some things that we can do with today's issues. But you've been doing that, like you said, for a long time. And both of my sons were lucky enough to be a part of your football program, and it made a big difference to them and helped them in their life going through those activities, like you talked about, learning about others. But you also, well known as a famous coach at the highest level and a Hall of Famer at Kansas State University, and that's the reason why you're probably in the College Football Hall of Fame. You actually had times where you were in college as well. And sometimes, those are smaller colleges, not always at Mizzou. You also grew up in St. Joseph and went to school there. You also went to William Jewell. So what experiences do you learn in those days when you were younger and a college-age student that helped set the tone of the mindset you carry today?
Well, I think first and foremost was the impact that others had upon me. I learned at a very young age how significant it was to bring people into your life that genuinely cared about you, wanted to make your life better. And I was fortunate to have so many of those people, many of them in athletics and some that were not. But I can remember when I first embarked on a college career at William Jewell College, and I think William Jewell was an NAIA school at the time. I coached at Austin College in Sherman, Texas, was an NAIA school. They were non-scholarship schools at the time, and young people were there playing the game because they loved competing. They loved playing the game, so to speak. They loved the game, and I appreciated that a great deal. They were playing for the right reasons. I think that's not always the case, I think, in this day and age, as we would like for it to be anyway. But it was, when I went to William Jewell, the athletic director and head football coach there was Norris Patterson, Dr. Norris Patterson. And he was a very, very famous individual. And I appreciated him. He not only coached, but taught classes, and I took his classes, etc. But he embarked in his career. He embarked, I think, basically on the same thing. I can't tell you I know all the things that he that encouraged him to do what he did, but he was a man of value, of great values. He was a man that cared. He was a man that believed in doing things the right way, and tried to embrace the young people in his program with that concept. And I think that's one of the things that I realized when I went through his program was, you were going to have to do things the right way, and which meant that you were going to have to possess some of those values. I guess at that time I probably couldn't list, whatever each of those values might be, but nevertheless, I understood what it meant. When I went to Austin College as a coach, as I said, we had young people there that were there because they loved the game, had to pay their own way. And in all reality, I appreciated that. When I went to William Jewell College, I had to pay my way, and we didn't. My mother didn't have the money to do that, and I had to work my way through school. But nevertheless, it was significant for me. It helped me in many ways, and to be able to try to impact the lives of those young people, and then in our future going to North Texas, and then Iowa, and then Kansas State. It became apparent to me that as youngsters got older and as the years passed, that there was a greater and greater and greater need for our nation to become a nation of values. And what better place to start than with young people that have a good concept, of what what's right, what's wrong, and are willing to invest in whatever it takes to become the kind of person that can be successful in life the right way. And I think that's one thing that athletes all have. They all want to succeed, and to be able to promote the appropriate way to do that becomes very significant in their lives. And I'm carrying on too long here, but I think one of the things I get asked all the time, I'm at home right now, and if you could see what's around me, it's just piles and piles of boxes, and they exist in every room of our house because the basement is full. And I haven't yet had the time to, it's been a year or so, and I haven't had the time to get through them. But one of the things that I look forward to, I have, probably, I don't know, a guesstimate of maybe 15 or 20 boxes full of letters from ex-players who indicate in one form or fashion how significant the value system was in their lives. And some of them say, I didn't get it then, but I get it now, and it makes a big difference in my life. And that's the rewards for someone like myself.
A lot of other people want to experience those rewards, and I want to ask or clarify with you, because I think it may be obvious to some, but others would ask a question. Trying to build character helps you in your personal life, which is most important. It also helps you come together, unify as a team, and have success, which a lot of young athletes at the NAIA level are trying to do. But I wanted to have you connect this. You coach at K-State, you've seen the smaller colleges. To me, I'm sure your message is it doesn't matter what level you're at. These concepts, these character concepts, these ways of doing things, these 16 goals are just as important at the small college level as they are at the biggest. It is the same, it's real life. But I'd love you to comment on that, because I think it's important that people hear that rather than saying that's just at the big time college level that this stuff works.
Well, it goes along the lines of probably the same response I have when people ask about recruiting. Youngsters are youngsters, and it doesn't make any difference whether they come from a high school or a community college or transfer from a four-year college. Doesn't make any difference whether they're black, doesn't make any difference whether they're white, whether they're green, whether they're red. Those things, it's about the person. It is strictly about the person, and young people are young people, and you have the same person can be at, or same type of person can be at any of those levels, and still have the same emotions, have the same feelings, be equally or unequally receptive to coaching, teaching, manifestation of a value system. Whether it's Kansas State or Austin College doesn't make any difference. It's youth is youth, people are people, and that's something that easy for me to say, hard for many to understand, quite obviously today.
Well, Coach, I'd love to spend more time and have you grab some of those letters and read them to us so we could kind of hear what the older players have thought about, and it would be so much fun, maybe even go through a few game plans, but we don't have all day. So happy that you spent some time with us, and congratulations on being the Keynote Character honoree for the NAIA this year, and thanks for spending the time with us today, Coach.
Well, I appreciate it. It's great talking with you again, Stan, and I'm honored, quite obviously, to receive the award, and I have a great appreciation for the NAIA and what it stands for, because I think it stands for what's right in college athletes as much as any other entity that exists, and I'm proud of the people that are involved in it.
That's Bill Snyder from Manhattan in his home, Stan Weber here in Kansas City. The program will continue.
Now we'll go back to Len.
Thanks, Bill and Stan. We hope you've been inspired by Bill and all these outstanding individuals we've recognized during this virtual luncheon. Please consider making a donation to help out the Champions of Character program. As a reminder, you can text NAIA to 56651 or go to naia.org/COC Foundation. Thank you for making today's NAIA Champions of Character Foundation virtual event a success, and we look forward to seeing you in person next year.
The Kissick family has been involved in the construction industry in the Kansas City Metro since 1896. Construction isn't just a family business, it's a family tradition. Like our hometown baseball team, when faced with a challenge, Kissick Construction never backs down, never gives up, never says no or it can't be done. Because no challenge is too big and no job is too small. Experienced project managers, top-notch labor force that gets projects done on time and within budget. As Kansas City continues to evolve, Kissick Construction continues to be involved at KissickCO.com.
Every student athlete has a team, and a team behind that team. There are coaches, trainers, teachers, parents, friends, and each teammate shares the same goal: to provide athletes with the support and skills to succeed while staying healthy and safe. At Relation Insurance, we're proud to be a part of your support team. We provide customizable insurance solutions that can help colleges and universities protect athletes, manage risk, and stay ahead of the game. Go team!